So guys, I'm continuing this video and this is going to be a story time. I have to be very careful with what I say and I cannot say so loudly because I'm in the public space. So some words I will just use once and I hope you will understand later that what I'm referring to. Firstly, Ramadan Mubarak to everyone. Today is the first day of Ramadan and I'm in Mogadishu, Hamar. So the local name of Mogadishu is Hamar, and just 48 hours before my life was completely different. I didn't knew that if I will be able to make it to Mogadishu, or I will be able to survive or not. This is one of the deadliest organizations in the world who are fighting among themselves with another Somali government known as Al-Shabaab. And I'm not going to use this word right now so much. So when I say you should understand. So the thing is, we started a story time. Okay, what happened? And I was able to take one photo of their flag. They have a different flag to Somali government, and I will put it on the screen because some people will come up and say it's stories, blah blah blah. So I was able to hide and capture one photo. If they see me filming anything or taking any those kind of stuff, I would be killed right away. So I had to be very very careful. And let's start the story. So I started my trip across Somalia by land. All of you know that it was the adventure that I've been planning since years. I wanted to do this trip since years, and apparently right now most of the main roads have been closed in Somalia. They are fighting around the main roads. In Somaliland side, Lasanud have been fighting. That main road is closed, so I took the longer route. And then on Somalia side, after Gurel, that side main road also is very dangerous right now. So we started from Galkayo to Mogadishu directly by bus, which in itself is dangerous. I'm still Indian, I'm Asian. I was on a little bit of positive side to not be killed. But if you are someone else, you will be killed in less than seconds. I think so. That's what I felt from all of situation. And we were on road for 2 days, almost two and a half. Yeah, we started from Gurel inside the bush. We didn't take even one main road after this town. So in the bush in Somalia, wild landscape, wildest landscape of my life. I've never seen something this beautiful. Oh, landscape in Somalia are insane, guys. One of the most beautiful places on the earth. Half of the Somalia right now is going through drought season. That's another story. But desert here is so wild, is empty. There is nobody. And anyways, then we took that bush road and internet was blocked. Everything was blocked. The first incident near Mokokori, right now that is one of the strongest base of. Okay, so around Mokokori area there were 4 or 5 big Somali cars for Somali government who was arresting, fighting them, trying to go to the bush area and trying to ask villagers who is doing those illegal activities with the Al-Shabaab in Mokokori, that area. And there were 20 Somali officers arresting one. They had 4 cars and it had all kind of weapons. It has so big guns that I've never seen in my life. It has something that you can move around from the car and then shoot directly. That kind of weapons in the bush. And in that range of 1 kilometer area, there were more than 200 soldiers. They were arresting people, they were arresting terrorists, they were fighting each other. There was so much security. I cannot tell you what I saw. With I will not forget this view for years, I think. those weapons, those cars, those soldiers, they were this close to me, and they understood. Some of them understood when they saw my face, I'm tourist. Then they start saying tourista, tourista, tourist. But they didn't stop because they were in their mission. They were trying to find things, they were fighting, they were arresting people. And then we crossed. Okay, then there was a night we slept in the bush near the fighting zone, near the deadliest zone, guys. We slept there in the bush. Who knows, at night someone come and just shoot us, and we all die. And then when you're moving around, you have to pay money to Somali government, you have to pay money to Al Shabaab. When there is a village area of Al Shabaab, you have to pay money to them, so they let you cross. It's like a tax. Otherwise they will bomb your car, not let you go. So it's illegal, but that's the only way for Somali people right now to survive. Then we slept in the bush, then we woke up. It was a third day of our trip. Next morning we reached this area called Il Baraf. That was I was not kidnapped in the bush. That was a moment my life flashed right away. Everything changed, and the driver was so stupid, so crazy. We reached this town, a small village called Il Baraf, and around this village there are many more villages between the range of 10 to 15 kilometers, and all of them are controlled by you understand. So all of the villages, they have black stones, they have black flags, everything related to Al Shabaab. They have everything, like stones are painting with their slogans. I was not able to use my phone. I captured the photo of one flag only. And then the driver stopped in Il Baraf for the food, which is okay, which was fine. But after 15 minutes of the food, he did not drive towards Mogadishu. He decided he want to sleep in this village of Al Shabaab. He slept 4.5 hours, 4 hours in this terrorist village with a foreigner like me. And he slept at night. He slept again. So 4 hours was a lot of time for whole village to understand that I am not Somali. Thank you, sister. I'll give you my channel. I'm telling the story of my road trip. Yeah, social media, YouTube. So guys, let's continue the story. I just got the coffee, so we delayed. And then the driver was so crazy. This is what I was saying. He decided to sleep in that village. It's not the bush. It's a legal located village which exists on Google Map, inhabited by many people. They have proper buildings, proper village house, and the whole village is controlled by totally. They have put their flags, they have painted the stones black in the junction, and they live there. It's controlled by them. There is no internet in that village. Network is very slow, and Somali government doesn't exist there. There is no Somali flag in that village. Everything is related to Al Shabaab. So as our driver decided to stay there for 4 to 5 hours of his sleep, which he did last night also, he wanted me to get killed or kidnapped, let's just say, by 4 hours. It's enough time, it's enough time in such sensitive area. 4 hours is a lot of time. In 4 hours, the whole village knew that I'm a tourist, I'm not Somali. And they told to Al Shabaab that this woman, she is not Somali woman. And at 3:30, so we had to leave at 4:20 or something, and around 3:30 they came. I was sitting like this in the car, and three men came from behind. They opened the door, they just took my bags like this and say, we have to take you. And I was like, okay. Then he asked, do you have more bags? I said, yes, one, but it's in top in the luggage. He said, he looked like this and he said, okay, let's go. Any other bag in your seat? I say, yeah, just one plastic bag. I took that and we started to walk. And I tried to be calm. I was not nervous. I was like, okay, if I die, I die. As a, I cannot cry. I don't know if it's my personal behavior or if it's genetics of being a Punjabi. I was not nervous at that moment. I was like, okay, let's go. If I die, I die. I before I start this trip, this road journey, I was mentally prepared. If I die, I die. Anyways, we die anyways, any day, any time. We can die any moment. Who knows? Yeah, so our driver wanted to sleep in that village, so he did. Maybe he had some, revenge from me of my past life, that he put me into the. He could have just went, he could have just drive his car. But humans are humans, humans are humans. So then they took me, then they start walking, and he turned behind one guy and he said, who are we? So one guy, he was speaking English. He was a young guy. And one guy was very big, fat, little old with a gun. And another one was also young, but I think from the village. So he was not speaking English at all, but he also had a gun. This guy speak English and he said, Mujahideen. Like, okay. Guys, that time nobody in the village had any power to say anything to save me. Everyone was looking at me that I am being kidnapped, taken by Al-Shabaab. Nobody, every one of them was scared. They couldn't say anything. Eh? And then 200 meters around the Il Baraf junction area, there is one road that goes towards the market, and the almost end of that market road, the last house, the last place is their inhabitant, like where they are living. He made me enter that house. It looks like a normal house from outside, but it's totally their space. They live there. They have made like some jail kind of situation there. There is no proper. Oh my god, I'm explaining how the terrorist place looks like now. There is no proper nothing inside. Everything is made out of bush, the dried grass and wood of the desert. All they have inside is the jerry cans for the water, the yellow African cans, plastic ones. There were 5 or 6 of them, and strangely, all those cans had a cut on one side and have some glue, hot glue kind of, like when your bone breaks and then you cover it, you protect it. Thank you. All those jerry cans, they had some that weird kind of looking thing. They were pasted with some glue and something on one side. I have never seen such jerry cans. They had this in common, and I was wondering why. And that place had nothing else, just one or two bed sheets for namaz and one old cloth curtain for the women side of the jail, and men sits in the open. So from this side it looks like a shop area, and from the back side it looks like a nomad house. So you can never imagine like there is a jail inside there. This is so scary. From outside it has been made like a normal shop, it looks like a shop from outside. And once I entered the shop to another part, it suddenly became like a nomad bush trail, and from behind it's like a house. So this is shop, this is house, and in between they live in between there. And then he asked me some questions. He asked me, why do you come to Somalia? I said, for traveling. Where are you from? From India. Where did you start your journey? I said, Djibouti, Ethiopia, Jigjiga, Hargeisa, and then Garowe, and I reached your place, Il Baraf. That's the village name. And then he started to check some of my bags, not my laptop bag yet. And then he asked me, where is your passport? When I gave my passport, I keep on this side, this bag. I opened the purse and I gave him my passport. He said, keep this bag on the place where there was some traditional, traditional bed kind of thing. And I gave him my this bag also, which had $350. I told him I have money. He said, don't worry, I will not do anything with your money. It's safe. Because one guy was talking to me in English, and then he said, go sit on the chair. I was sitting on the chair, and then he called someone on the phone, his boss, and his boss asked them to ask me what's my religion, and he asked me, okay, so what's your religion? And you're Muslim or Christian? I say, I'm nobody, I'm none of that. And then he translated to another guy. He says, she's not Muslim, she's not Christian. Then the boss asked, then what is she, who is she? Then the guy asked me in English, who am I, what, da da da, right? Then I say, no, I'm no. Then he said, no. I said, no. Then he said, yeah, India many. There's this English guy, he knew that India have many religion. So you think these Al-Shabaab and all these organizations, they are crazy, they live in a bubble, but that's not true. They have some basic knowledge of around the world. That's why they are doing all of this, right? Then I say, yeah, you're right. India so many, so I'm just nobody from all of them. Then he said, okay. Then he called my driver, and the driver, he asked something I couldn't understand because it was in Somali, but I know he asked the driver, where is this lady from? And driver says, Syria. If you lie to Al-Shabaab, they will shoot you right away, they will kill you. And when the driver, hey, this driver wanted me to be killed. When the Okay, maybe driver did the right thing. He wanted to say Syria because Syrians are Muslims, and Al-Shabaab, they love Syrian people. There are Syrian refugees in Somalia, so many of them, and they don't kill Syrian people. But driver have to understand, if he says Syrian and the Al-Shabaab, they ask me to do the Muslim prayer, I don't know perfectly, I cannot speak Arabic, they will kill me in less than 1 second. Okay, someone is calling me, sorry. So it was, eh, but at least that English guy, he read my passport is Indian, he saw my passport, so he ignored the driver. Literally, he did not care when he said Syrian. He was like, he did not care what the driver said, and they didn't. I swear to God, I thought I'm getting killed that time, because now the Al Shabaab is thinking that I'm lying and I'm a spy. You know, Iran, Taliban is different to Al Shabaab. Al Shabaab, they hate Americans, Europeans, they hate foreigners. If you are a foreigner, you die. You are kidnapped for months or years, or you are killed. Then, after he let the driver go, they did their salah for 4 o'clock, that Asr prayer. I I'm getting flashback, guys. So then I was sitting on the chair and he did the prayer. First the English guy, then the second big guy. And by that time, third guy, he went outside. So when the big guy, he was doing the prayer, you know how they sit like this. And between middle of his leg, he was praying with the gun. Like, you understand, you have to sit like this, and this part in the middle, he placed the gun and he was playing with his gun. I was shocked. So, in the ritual of these people, you cannot leave your weapons even when you are praying. You have to be with your weapon, you have to eat food with your weapon, you have to take shower with your weapon, you have to sleep with your weapon. When you have to pray, you have to pray with your weapon. I was shocked. And then they finished the prayer, then he said me, okay, let's go that side. That was a women's jail. He put me there inside that side. And then I was sitting there for 1 hour or 1.5 hours. After that, he came back and he said, are you ready to go? Are you ready to be free? I say, yeah. Then I get up. Yeah, it's okay. I'm okay. I'm ready to go. Then I get up and he said, you don't know who are we? He said it again. Then I said, I know there are two group in Somalia. They're fighting each other, but I don't know which one are you. That's what I said. Then he said, we are the one terrorist Muslim group. Oh, then he said, you know Al-Shabaab? I said, yeah. Oh, you're that one? He said, yes, I'm that one. Then he said, you are not a Muslim. I should have killed you right now, but I'm letting you go. So go. You are free now. I'm letting you go. I'm not killing you. Guys, he literally said that. And when he was saying that, the old big guy, he was doing, he was like, hey, he was like, you should have been killed. And I, oh, thank you so much. Thank you. You're letting me go, you know. It's like, yeah, you're not Muslim, but I'm letting you go. Then I went outside and I opened my bags. I was like, let me see my passport. I knew they have taken my money. Okay, my inner gut feeling, it told me that these people are not good. They're stealing. And then as soon as I opened my bag to see my passport, I saw there is no dollars anymore. My money is gone. Then I tell the Al-Shabaab, I ask him, see, you have taken my money. Please give me $100 back to survive. I have nothing left now. I have zero money. What I will do in Amar, what I will do in Mogadishu. I have to pay for the food, for the hotel, everything. Please give me back at least $100. And he said, no, 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 go inside. And by that time, there were more two Al-Shabaab who came inside. One was very old guy, very traditional. I think he was the boss in that village. So they also came. They started to check my bags again. They saw my laptop, and alhamdulillah, thank God he did not steal my laptop. You know, I have heard sometimes they take everything from you and they don't give back nothing. Then they sell and then they make money, because this organization, for them to make money is difficult. And then he sent me again back inside, and I was asking him. Then I start to cry a little bit, so he have sympathy with me, but no, heartless totally. Then I asked him, please, you take my money. Can you imagine, I told this to those people on the face, and I made sure to say dollar, 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 so everyone understand. So all of them understood, but yet they did not give me back even $50 to survive. Ha- These people have no heart. I told him I have no money to eat food in Amar. Give me something. I I was asking Al Shabaab my money back. And he's like, and after that time, he was like, no, 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 just go. He took all my bags, he take me, and he put me in the car. He said, go, go, go. And then that was it. He stole my money, and also he stole my razor. Guys, I have razor to make my eyebrows. He stole, he took my razor, two razor, and $350. I did not see anything else missing from my bag until now. I did not notice, you know. what I noticed was razor is missing from my bag and my money. Razor I noticed after coming to Mogadishu. I didn't know before because it was packed inside, deep inside in my bag. But money was just in my passport purse, so it was easy to see that it's gone. And then, but maybe money saved me. I think if I had $0 in my bag, I would be gone. He saw $300. His mood was okay. He became happy and he let me go. And his boss, he also was like, okay, she's Indian, she's giving us this much money, we made some profit, let her go. That's how I came out alive. And that was the craziest journey of my life. I've never seen something like this in my life before. Those Somali weapons car of Somali government, just just like this. And then five Al-Shabaab standing right next to me, and just like this far, telling me, you are not Muslim, I should have killed you, we are Mujahideen, we are this, just this much distance. And yeah, then I sat in the car and I left. Then thank you so much to my friend. I call him, all this happened, and he say, Garima, no one have ever called me from the village of Al-Shabaab. You are the first person who is calling me from inside that village. And he sent me $100 on my phone right away. In Somalia, people use phone to make payments. I also used my $200 something to pay all the bills and keep something. I had only $30 left in my phone. Then my friend sent me $100, and this $300 was for emergency if I need the cash, because I'm not Somali, anything can happen. For example, they saw this money and they became happy and they let me go. I was not killed. So this cash actually helped me. And yeah, that was it, guys. That's how I was kidnapped by Al-Shabaab. That's how I came out alive, and it's 1000% real story. And I think this trauma, this incident will stay with me forever until I die, maybe. And this trip changed me totally. This trip also showed me that how kind are Somali people and how strong are Somali people who are living here, and especially the ones who are living in the bush. I saw so many things that maybe most of the humans will never see or can never imagine or can never feel. And I was inside the terrorist zone for 3.5 days. 3.5 days. I don't know how many hours is that. Calculate, please. More than 70 hours. No. Yeah, around 60, 70 hours. So yeah, it changed me actually. Then I reached Mogadishu and I said to myself, okay, if this is life, this is the extreme anyone can go. Maybe more extreme than this could be Libya 10 years, 20 years before, but not now anymore. But this also is very close to same extreme, but not close, because I think Somali people, they are way more kinder than the Arabs. I'm sorry to say, this is not racism. I feel that genuinely human connection is, there are some differences between the cultures. So if this would have happened to me in Libya, maybe I would have not survived. Maybe there would be some difference, but because of Somali people, this journey was possible thanks to all of my friends. In this video, I don't want to mention specific names, but my friend understand who I am trying to thanks right now. thanks to all of those Somali people, Somali friends, and even to that driver who knew I am a foreigner, but he was little bit crazy to me and he decided to get me killed in that village. The owner of the company was actually good in Galkayo. He was very happy to see me. He was like, please sister, go safely, this is Somalia, welcome to Somalia. But the driver was little bit weird. Humans are humans, you know, everyone is different, but here I am alive. And this trip literally changed me, that if I want to do such kind of adventure again, or because by all this experience I realized that it has been funded from outside. Somali people are helpful and they want their country to progress, so they will not want such situation to exist here, and they have been trading with Indians and Arabs and many other communities since thousands of years. So this is not the natural behavior of Somali people, not to this extreme level. Tribal fights are okay, every country have that, but this is outside forces also play a big part in this one. So what is adventure really? I question myself.